2100news.com.
Okay, hi everybody. We're still here at the playoffs, at the co-founded playoffs. I'm here with Grega from Datafund. Grega, it's
Hi.
really nice to finally talk to somebody from my own hometown.
Awesome, yeah. I feel the same.
Tell us about your project, a little bit about your project, what you're doing.
Well, what we're basically doing, okay, on the, I always need to first say like the deep philosophical level.
Okay.
And on the deep philosophical level, I think what we are about, it's about the freedom of the mind.
Okay.
But okay, now let's bring this more like closer, yeah. So we are about private and personal data that individuals will have the ability to first find out which companies have which kind of data about them, and then this. Once you know this, then you can in European Union, then you will be able to say, okay, I give you the permission to use it, or I revoke the permission, or I want you to export the data you have about me, and then you delete it. So it's first about
Taking control of your own data.
Exactly. So yeah, because I come actually more from the, in some sense, more from the medical side, from the cognitive science side, and it's actually really spooky what it's possible to do with personal data.
Of course.
We see like the results like of the elections, like Donald Trump being elected. It comes down to companies like Cambridge Analytica who do the hyper-targeted ads based on knowing what kind of persons they are targeting and then manipulating them. And this is only going to get worse unless we take back the control. And the other very important thing is, because this personal data is so powerful, because of that it has value.
Of course.
And
It's very valuable.
yeah, but everybody is making money with it.
Except the people who are actually giving the information.
Exactly. So it's kind of what we're now, and I think this was already written by Economist or one of these publications, is that we are actually witnessing now the biggest theft in the history of the humankind.
That's correct, yeah.
So Datafund hopes to sort of rectify this situation, to bring back the individual in control and say, yes, I want to share my data for this purpose and for this good, but under my conditions.
Are you afraid of stirring up a hornet's nest? Of getting like some inappropriate enemies in the way? On the way?
Not really, because the way how we plan to develop the protocol, how the protocol is conceptualized, is also the big guys, the companies, will have advantages of using that. They will reduce their costs a lot, and it's for a company that wants to do business right. It's always better to have like at disposal all the data that wants to be shared instead of doing some shady business.
Yeah. Of course. How do you think, is this a long run for you guys? You think that this could be achieved quickly, or is this a period of decades that we're talking about right now?
Well, it depends how we define this. So definitely it's going to be a process, because one of the interesting things is also that in general people don't really care so much about privacy.
Yeah.
So it's also part of the process of growing this awareness, and this is one area that we're going to tackle.
Yeah.
And the first step is actually we're planning to launch the platform in May 2018. Which will already enable individuals to see what kind of data the companies in the system hold about them. Then the next step is to develop a secure decentralized storage, basically your safe space in the digital domain. No backdoors, nothing. You know what's there and only you. And if you don't want to share it, that data actually does not exist for the outside world. So, and then the third stage, this is going to take maybe a little bit longer. It's the actual protocol being launched, but I don't think it's the scope now of this interview to discuss the protocol. But we are not creating a marketplace. This is an important thing. Others will be able to create a marketplace on the protocol if they want. What we are about is about exchange under the conditions of the owner of the data. So exchange can also be I'm sending my medical info to my doctor. Doesn't have to be marketplace necessary or in this way. Yeah.
It's direct. Do you think we have a big problem with educating the masses about, this topic is pretty technical. So I think most of the people that already understand the digital world and they know its possibilities already know about this, but there are a lot of more people that actually are not stimulated by these kind of conversations. They're searching for really easy topics. Do you think this might be a problem in the process? Educating these people, getting them interested in this topic when you have so much other stuff on the internet.
It's very good point. It's very good point, and it's I would say the trends in some way, as much as we don't like the trends, but they are going into our favor regarding this. It started with Edward Snowden and all these leaks, and like when we hear about hacks and all the data being exposed and stuff like that. So this makes people to think. The other thing is, I think there are more forces at play. It's also, it's like the basic perception that we need to kind of work on it, the awareness. It's like if you would invite me for a dinner to your place, and I come to your place and I start opening drawers and saying, oh, what do you have there? It would be like, what's with that guy, But we allow this in the digital domain. It's like in the digital domain, it's okay if everybody just can go through all your stuff and say, okay, I'll take a little bit of this and this and this.
Because it's not visible to us.
Exactly, It's like the data is kind of, I compare it a lot with fuel for cars. In the sense of, we are now into the data-driven society. It already happened. It's just not that obvious. And as the industrial society was run by oil, and we never really saw oil. We also, when you drive your car, you don't see the petrol, This is how also these data leaks are happening. But at the background, it's the fuel of the society.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And that's why it has also this value, and we should reclaim that. Yeah.
Well, I hope this happens for all of us, and thank you for working on it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
2100news.com